Well, a very good afternoon. The last time we were speaking, President William Ruto was passing, and Mheshimiwa has insisted that she has to, first of all, finish her point. And we were talking about the women agenda in the William Ruto government. Do you believe that this is the right time to talk about it, and how should it be approached?
First of all, I want to thank our president for really recognizing women in leadership. This has already been proven by the nominations that he has already done in the cabinet. In his speech, he first began by congratulating all the women who have been re-elected and those that have been elected. He has really insisted on bottom-up. And in our country, we really believe that women are the most bottom. When we refer to bottom-up, we refer to women being moved from the bottom to up. What has really entertained me and really made me happy in his speech is the issue of decriminalization of enterprises. Kenya is a very hard-working nation. We've seen young men and women start the enterprises, more businesses, but the government has been there and Kenya revenue disturbing them and really taxing them. We want a Kenya whereby people are free to do their businesses, where they're not so taxed. Let the Kenya revenue become not an authority, but a service to ensure that Kenyans are really helped, that the small enterprises that we begin as workers and whatever we do, that we are not decriminalized. We are not criminalized, such that Kenya is set free. Let us see really decriminalization of small business enterprises.
Well, thank you very much. One of the questions that will come out is how important is moving KRA from an authority to a service?
Now, I think that will improve service delivery for this nation, because if we have it as a service industry, then as opposed to an authority, that means it shall improve service delivery for this country. I think that is one of the key highlights in this speech. But above all, I think this time round we have a president who is a man of the people, because the way he has articulated the issue at the floor of the House, we are so excited and we are so happy as legislators. One of the issues that I think we need to touch is that he has implored upon the members of a National Assembly to have an amendment to the standing orders, so that we can have members of the CSs to appear before the floor of the House. I think that's one of the issues that I take home today. Number two, I think the issue to do with CDF. I think he has acknowledged that CDF has done a lot for this country. And if it is aligned to the Constitution, I think it is something that as members of National Assembly, we are so much proud of, and we'll take it up as MPs. Thank you so much.
Well, welcome. We can all speak about this. And what is your take home from the President's speech today?
I think the take home from the President's speech is about CDF. There were a lot of worries that CDF will go away. But I think from today now, everybody is rest assured that CDF will not go anywhere. The President has talked about it, and that shows his goodwill about it. Yeah.
Well, Mheshimiwa, also getting from you, what is the important take-home, noting that the President is acknowledging that the country has a problem and we have to fix it?
Yeah, very true. The President has acknowledged a lot of things, but unfortunately, I am concerned about the issue of the drought. The President has not adequately addressed the issue of drought. I'm a pastoralist. I know the problems that my people are facing down there, but today he has addressed it casually. According to me, it was not the best response we were expecting from him. Generally, he gave a lot. He was overambitious, I believe so. He was overambitious. He was talking about there is no money in the government. That was the bad news he admitted, and that was very courageous of him. And also, he was given a very overambitious project. I don't know how that will going to work hand in hand, but let's see. Let's give them time. We are opposition. We will wait them. We'll give them time. We'll respond to them on appropriate time. But for the drought, I'm not really satisfied about it.
Do you also believe that the President's speech was ambitious?
No, it was not ambitious. It is a speech which was short, precise, to the point, honest, achievable. On the issue of drought, I think he talked about it because drought is something synonymous with water. And he talked about water by saying that they will develop a private partnership, private-public partnership, public-private partnership with the water, whatever investors. So that issue of perennial water problem can be solved. And in decade, actually you get a timeline saying that within this decade, water problem will be solved. He talked about health. He gave us the problem of NHIF. He gave me the solution. He talked about agriculture. He said we will not go for consumer consumption subsidy, but we will go for production subsidy. He talked of NSSF. He was very comical about that with the 200 shilling saving and 72,000 in 30 years. That is not something somebody can be proud of. It's not a pension scheme for somebody who's saving that 72,000. So we have to go back to our pocket, bring some money out, save something. We are a consumer society. He's telling us we must be a saving society so that we can achieve that. So the president's speech was not overambitious. It is achievable. It had the problems. It had the solutions. And I'm telling Kenyans that he was actually giving us the picture which is hanging, the portrait picture which is hanging at the back of our doors, which is the portrait of Edward Munch, which is a scream picture. And he's telling us we will change that to the picture of Leonardo da Vinci of Mona Lisa, beautiful lady.
Oh, thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. The glamorous Mheshimiwa from Thika Town. How are you, Mheshimiwa? And today's speech by President William Ruto has touched on a number of issues.
Correct.
What spoke to your heart?
What spoke to my heart? Let me first say the speech was short and to the point, precise and to the point. And I want to say what has touched my heart is about the savings. That Kenyans, we have to learn how to save so that we can help our economy. Right now, our economy is ailing. We are living beyond our means. There's no enough amount of money. And we are going back to the basic where we used to say agriculture is the backbone of our nation. We are going back to production. We are going to help our farmers with fertilizers, with seedlings. We see where we can. And when it comes to revenue correction, he has said that the institution is going to become more friendly so that it can accommodate many people who don't pay their taxes. It has to be coiled in a way that when you see the KRA officials, you don't run away. It is a duty that you are called upon to pay the revenue so that we can be able to pay the recurrent expenditure. Right now, even we are borrowing to pay the recurrent expenditure, which is a matter of paying salaries. So what has touched my heart is we must know how to save. We must know how to correct our revenue so that the current expenditure comes from us, comes from within. And we must go back to the basic. That is production, production, production.
Well, thank you very much.